Let's talk about artificial intelligence. We know it's the future, the engine that's going to drive everything from economies to elections. But here's the twist. What if I told you that this future is not being built in Silicon Valley or inside those massive buzzing data centers on Earth? The real AI race is happening in outer space, orbiting above us at 28,000 kilometers per hour. Take any tech giant you know, Amazon, Google, OpenAI, they aren't just competing for users. They are racing to build something that humanity has never attempted before. Data centers in space. The question is why? Why in space? Also, is this the next great technological leap or just another billionaire fever dream? Tonight, we'll try to break it down. The entire thing started last year. It began with Elon Musk's SpaceX. SpaceX had a grand plan for the next Starlink satellites. They would carry AI hardware. Then came Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon. He has a space company called Blue Origin. They began to work on off-Earth compute modules, basically floating server racks. And then came Google. Google is hatching a plan to put AI data centers in space. The first trial equipment will be sent in 2027. But again, why on earth are we sending data centers to space? Because there's something that Silicon Valley does not want to admit. Artificial intelligence is eating our planet. Take a single modern data center. It uses enough electricity to power a small city. It burns through millions of liters of water a day. It heats local grids. It costs billions of dollars to build. And more importantly, it costs billions more to cool. And now AI companies want to scale this further. So by 2030, data centers may consume twice the electricity they use today. At some point, the math stops working. But again, why space? Why choose to put data centers in space? Because in space, you get a lot of things that you don't get on Earth. There's unlimited solar power. There are no cooling constraints. Heat radiates into the vacuum. You need no land or water. There are no zoning permissions or protests. So everything a data center struggles with, space solves elegantly. And it can be done. Last month, Star Cloud launched a satellite with a single HP H100 GPU on board. A satellite with one H100 GPU on board. Star Cloud is a company backed by NVIDIA, and if you don't understand chips, let me make it simpler. Putting an H100 in space is like strapping a Ferrari engine inside a toaster and launching it. It should not work, except this one did. The satellite booted up. It loaded a version of Google's Gemma model. It also answered questions from space, and at one point, it even greeted the Earth with a message.
Greetings, Earthlings, or, as I prefer to think of you, a fascinating collection of blue and green. Let's see what wonders this view of your world holds. I'm Gemma, and I'm here to observe, analyze, and perhaps occasionally offer a slightly unsettlingly insightful commentary. Let's begin.
It was cute, funny, eerie, and historic because this was proof of concept. Once Star Cloud proved it was possible, the Titans moved fast. Google announced Project Suncatcher, a constellation of solar-powered satellites. SpaceX wants upgraded Starlink satellites that can run AI inference. Jeff Bezos believes future data centers logically belong in space. OpenAI's Sam Altman has explored buying a stake in a rocket company. They're all moving in, but it's not going to be a cakewalk. You see, space is trying to kill everything you send there. You're dealing with brutal radiation, extreme temperature swings, micrometeorites, zero maintenance, and regulatory chaos. So even with falling launch prices, this is a logistical nightmare, and yet companies want to try it because AI is about to overwhelm the Earth. And space solves the bottleneck, or so they hope, which means that this bizarre future may not even be a choice. It may be inevitable. And this is Space Race 2.0, not for the moon, not for Mars, but for artificial intelligence. And whoever builds the first real data center in orbit won't just win the tech race, they may just win the century.
I was born into revolution. I inherited power like a crown. What I delivered was isolation. I built a personality cult that touched every home. Millions suffered hunger under my rule, but no one dared to speak. I ruled from palaces. My people queued for rice. I called myself the dear leader. History calls me something else, the dictator. Who am I?